I used to think I was indecisive, but now I'm not so sure. What's going on, YouTube? We are back inside of Apocrypha, inside of the Infinite Archive, here to go over what Firelord has in store for us. For those of you who are new, you just got to head on over to this part of the Infinite Archive. Some people were having problems finding it. There is another vendor up here. Ignore that one. Useless. Come right here because we got some great items to go over. This first one here is Charm of the Shapeless, which is a mythic that's going to cost you 5,000. It is going to be one piece of the Ring of the Wild Hunt. Now, a lot of people thought that the Charm of the Shapeless component of the Ring of the Wild Hunt only had to come from world bosses. And if that was the case, I would say buy it. World bosses in Murkmire are the worst in any zone you will ever experience ever in your entire life. However, it's not entirely true. It is also delve bosses. With that knowledge in tow, I can definitely tell you it's worth it to just go out and farm the Murkmire delves. Don't farm the world bosses and get this lead normally. You don't have to pay for it. This next one is part of the Markyn ring. Now, I actually struggled to get this lead, and I don't know if they rebuffed it or if they changed it. However, this lead used to be really hard to get. Case in point, there's people complaining about it as soon as, if your first Google results are, when you search up a lead, is does this exist? Never a good sign. This took me, I think, 5 days to get, and that's with multiple characters farming the same Fargrave dailies over and over again. And the Markyn ring is actually a pretty OP mythic. So the last one was just a speed boost. I actually think the Markyn ring is heavily slept on when it comes to its utilizations. And as we get more 3-piece sets and people experiment more with this ring, I think we're just going to continue to see more utilization out of it, because really there is no downside. It's not like Gaze Sithis where you can't block, really. It's not like the Oaken Soul ring where guess what, now you can't, bar swap. Like, the downside is just you got to wear some 3-piece sets. That's not really a downside, because you could still wear a 5-piece set and get a lot of value from this and some other 3-piece sets. So the Markyn ring is heavily slept on. I think it's definitely a PvP mythic. Don't expect really to use this a whole lot for PvE, but don't sleep on it either. This is one of my favorite mythics. I'd put it easily in the top 5. This next one is a shoulder, and as the leads, you cannot resell this. This is character bind on pickup. So generally, if you're going to purchase a style page, you want something that's worth millions of gold normally, because you can't resell it, so you're stuck using it. So you hope it's valuable, which generally means it looks really good, or at least the community cognitively says, hey, this is good, we're going to make it a valuable mythic. How does this one stock up? It's only worth maybe 1 million gold on PC and a couple 100,000 on console. Not really worth it. It's very generic. It's been out for a while. I believe there's even an Opal version of this that looks very similar. So for me, just skip. East March maps are also a skip. There's just so many better map zones that you could get. I know technically there are some okay things that you could get, but when you think about how many DLC zones there are, how many places you could go to get very good motifs, leads, armor pieces, when you consider all of those factors, it's not worth looking and investing in East March. And this would be something you could convert some of them to gold or items or motif styles for yourself, but unfortunately, you're not going to get any value with East March, really. Next is interesting, and I actually encourage you guys to invest in companion equipment gear for when it's jewelry. Now, why is that? It's because the pieces and the traits that you need are more guaranteed to be something that you want. How does that work? So let's say right now weapons are in store. Well, if you wanted a usable companion weapon piece, you would not only need to get the right weapon, but the right trait. So your odds are significantly worse. If you wanted to build a tank and you get light armor with the wrong trait, you're not getting what you want. But at least if you get like a DPS piece of jewelry, you still have that for a future companion. You know it's going to be on a ring or a necklace, and you know you're going to need a ring or a necklace in the future. So this is an easy investment. You cannot resell these items. However, the odds of you being able to utilize them is significantly higher. That's why I encourage people to buy it when it's jewelry in store versus other pieces. It's just rolling those odds a little bit better. And even if you don't make a healer per se now, the odds of you making a healer later are pretty high. And if you're getting yourself a purple piece to put on that healer, that's just a great starting point to jump off on. And then we recommend skipping books. I know it's tragic. I know that everybody loves the books, but for me, It's just not there. Here we have our returning items, which I don't know why I'm invisible. There we go. Cartographer's boots. You can get these from a public dungeon. We've talked about them like a bajillion weeks in a row. Honestly, I wouldn't even farm them. Just buy them. They're probably like 3,000 to 10,000 gold on console. If you look at this outfit and you really want it, just buy it. Realistically, just go out and purchase it and mourn hold, and you'll save yourself so many archival fortunes. The value of 7,000 archival fortunes, when you factor in that some of the bound styles that you could be getting are worth millions, even though this is hot garbage. This is one I would not suggest that you buy. Let's say it's worth 300,000 gold on console. That's 300,000 gold versus at 5,000 to 10,000 gold. I mean, granted, it's half the fortunes, but that just doesn't correlate. And when you consider the fact that you can get some of ESO's most valuable items here on PC, if you get yourself the one that makes you look like the Mouth of Sauron, that's 500 million gold worth of value for 15,000 archival fortunes. About 70 million on console versus, 5 to 10,000. That's why these fragments need to be beefed up, in my opinion, or at least severely decreased in value. Same with the Skeever pet. We talked about them last week also. If you want a Skeever pet, 25 of these bad boys, I mean, that's like 12 monster set styles that you could be purchasing. That's just a lot for a pet. I mean, granted, you can get these just by normally running the Infinite Archive, and for that reason, don't buy these. And then the Legion Clue is always a skip for me. It always feels really bad ending on these three things because they're generally the things that I suggest the least for you to go out and purchase. And because of that, we're going to be joined by my cat here. But overall, these are the things I think that are definitely worth skipping. At least the maps can sometimes be good. The other pieces can generally be good, like the leads are usually good, even especially for ones that could be really difficult and annoying. If 2 or 3 Infinite Archive runs can save you 2 to 3 days of daily quest grinding, it's just a good value. Plus, the other things you're going to be getting from the Infinite Archive just seem overall better as well. So you just got to take all those things in stride. But that, dear friends, is going to wrap up the video. This has been our Tuesday Infinite Archive day. We have a lot of videos coming up here soon. Very excited to go over them with you. I'm very struggling a lot to figure out what to work on next. Unfortunately, too, I've been busy lately trying to get some of these guides done. But we have our newest update here. The newest dungeons are out. If you haven't logged into ESO, the homepage is completely different. It looks beautiful. In fact, I'll take you there right now because it looks so neat. And obviously, because of that, there's the newest patch, which has tons of changes, new things to go over. So there's that. 20,000 subscribers. We hit the milestone, so I'm doing a video on banned topics and secret things that you guys have wanted to know about, like about content creation and whatnot. And so I want to do that. Let me just look at this right here. This is beautiful. Secrets about content creation, questions that you guys have, because you guys came with some questions, answering those. We have to make an April guide. I'm also going to be going to the developers thing in Norway, so I wanted to see if any of you guys were going, but also get your guys' questions together because I'll be able to talk to developers. So if there's things that you want to ask, suggest, learn about, know the reasoning behind certain things. If you were like, Jake, why can't ESO be crossplay? Well, I can ask them, and then they probably give me an answer and say, hey, here's why this would be so difficult, or hey, here's a suggestion I have, and they can pass it on, I think that would be a great way to utilize the audience that we've created to basically make it as if, our voices are heard, especially because a lot of you guys are on console. Not to say that, there's anything wrong with PC players, but, we haven't had ESO out as long on console. I came from PC. I'm probably one of the only few people who are from PC to console. So I have an interesting perspective, but I always want to make sure that the console perspective is heard. Because we don't have things like add-ons. So when they make things like, for example, the Mora shoulder that lets you, get all these power boosts based on how many of Shalador's books, which is the Mages Guild books that, you need, all of us, we can't plug in an add-on and go pick up all these books. We have to go watch a guide or watch some route somewhere where some hooligan picks them all up. So that's where I think that making our voices heard can be so helpful. So help me out in the comments below. That's going to be my daily question of the day, because we are still doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to answer that question. What would you like me to suggest, ask, do, or in Norway? And obviously, if you're going, please put it in the comments below. I'm going to think about making a little group chat channel inside of the Discord that we have, link also in the description. That way we can chit chat together, potentially do some stuff here if any of you guys are going. I'm sure at least a couple of you are. And second thing is just be subscribed or hit 20,000 subscribers. I'm a man without a milestone. I don't know what to do, but please be subscribed. It's very helpful. makes us look more credible. And then the third thing is a random gift card code will be flashed upon the screen. If you've listened to all this rambling, I will tell you that the gift card code will be put on the video that is the 20,000 subscriber celebration video, which will be the banned ESO subject. So if you're the first person to find it hidden in that video, you will win. Thank you guys so much again for watching. It's a pleasure as always. Sorry this one had a little bit more ramblings inside of it, but it's a big day, big week coming up here. Norway's next week. Obviously, that's huge. So much going on, so much to talk about. So please excuse me, and I'll see you in the comments. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.